Welcome to Coffee with Jesus Outreach. I'm so excited to bring you a special series from my book, In the Meantime, Trust Me. These are powerful, faith-filled stories, biblical accounts told by the perspective of the people who lived them. Writing them was a gift during my own waiting season, and now, as I read them to you, I hope they encourage you. So grab your coffee, get cozy, and let's dive into the stories of faith, breakthrough, and trusting God's perfect timing. Who knows? Your breakthrough might be closer than you think. The Good Samaritan, a traveler's tale. Early in the morning, I had set out from Jerusalem with a sense of purpose to sell my spices. Jericho, a bustling city of commerce and palm trees, awaited me. The road between Jerusalem and Jericho was notorious for its dangers. Steep, winding paths through the rugged terrain, perfect for ambushes. But I had traveled it before, always keeping a watchful eye and a quick pace. It was not long into my journey when I heard the rush of footsteps behind me. Before I could react, a group of bandits descended upon me. Blows rained down, their fists and clubs merciless. I tried to fight back, but there were too many. They stripped me of my clothes, took my money and all of my spices, and left me lying in the dirt, broken and bleeding. Time lost all meaning as I lay there in excruciating pain. The sun climbed higher, scorching my exposed skin. Each breath was a struggle, each movement an agony. My thoughts oscillated between hope and death. Would anyone find me? Would I die here, alone and forgotten on this desolate road? Would I ever see my family again? I heard footsteps approaching. With great effort, I turned my head to see a priest. Relief washed over me. Surely this man of God would help. But he looked at me, a fleeting glance, and then he hurried on his way. He passed by on the other side of the road without a word. My heart sank. Not long after, a Levite came into view. He slowed down as he neared me. I could see the conflict in his eye. For a moment I believed that he would help, but then he too crossed the other side of the road and continued on his way. Despair clawed at me. Two men, both of my own people, had seen me and turned away. I was fading in and out of consciousness when I heard another set of footsteps. This time it was a Samaritan. Samaritans and Jews shared a long history of animosity, but this man did not hesitate. He knelt beside me, his face full of compassion. Gently he cleaned my wounds with oil and wine. This stinging sensation, a small price for the relief that followed, he wrapped me in his own cloak, and he lifted me up on his donkey. Each step of the donkey jostled my battered body, but the pain was bearable now that I knew I was not alone. We arrived at an inn where the Samaritan continued to care for me. He paid the innkeeper and promised to return, ensuring that I would receive whatever I needed to recover. His kindness was overwhelming, but I would always remember the day the Samaritan saved my life. As I lay in the inn, regaining my strength, I pondered the events. The priest and the Levite, representatives of my faith and community, had abandoned me. It was the Samaritan, a stranger and a supposed enemy, who had shown true mercy. I realized that help could come from the most unexpected places and people. While I waited for relief to be saved, two of my very own people ignored the calls for help. I struggled for my dear life. They abandoned me in my pain and left me to be alone. My hope to be saved was diminishing, but God saw me. He heard my cries for help, and he sent an unlikely traveler to bring me back from dying to living. Just when I felt like I was breathing my last breath, my adversary saved me. I understand waiting can be painful. It can seem like help will never come, but it is my prayer that my testimony will remind you not to cave in to despair. Help is on the way. Just when you think you can't endure another moment, God's mercy will blow you away, often through the least expected sources. My painful weight transformed into a testimony of divine mercy and unexpected kindness. Hold on, for in your darkest hour, God's light will break through and you will be amazed by the mercy that finds you.